45.
45.
12.
What?
12 inches down.
12 inches off of the belly.
Yeah.
That's like 12 inches is in like 1 foot, as in like that much.
Yeah, there we go.
This all started about a little over 6 months ago. It was last November. Bobby and I were at Steak Fest. I've known Bobby for a few years, and I've seen him come in and out of the gym. He'd see a little bit of results, and then he'd gain it back. And then when there was like a challenge or a reason for him to really get after it, he'd see a lot of progress, and then it would just pop back on. And we're sitting around the fire, and he says, what I really need is the biggest loser. Okay, well, we don't need the biggest loser. What we need is sustainability, right? We need something that's gonna make you see this result and then hold on to it. And I knew that if Bobby got into our system and he really applied what we were doing, then he'd see the changes that he wanted to see. So I was like, okay, you don't need the biggest loser, but if you want public accountability, well, we have this podcast and we can make that happen. So Bobby comes on the Pathway podcast and we talked to him about his goals. We did a consultation, same thing we do with everybody when we start him out.
If I don't do this in a public format and have people follow along with my journey, with what I'm going to do, I feel that I'm going to fail, like many people have done in the past. I can reach a goal. Mine's tough to maintain. And I think that with this format here, I think I'm going to have a better chance at once I reach my goal, that I will be able to maintain that goal. I need to lose at least a minimum of 100 pounds. But the question is how fast should I lose it? I dropped 41 pounds in 6 weeks. But at the end of the 6 weeks, when I knew it was over, I went right back to my bad habits. It was a competition.
Right.
And it was, I'm going to tell you right now, it was not the right way to do it.
I knew Bobby's the kind of guy, if he was accountable to us, if he had this public accountability, then he was going to get it done. So, he just became a very public case study.
I was super excited when we had Bobby on the Pathway podcast, and I knew that we could teach him our systems of sustainable change, where we could just meet him where he was at. We could really just talk about his goals, and then step by step, get him to just focus on those goals and keep leveling up, keep just getting to that next level. And Bobby's been so awesome, because when he first started with small group training, it was rough. Like, there were some days where he probably didn't think he was going to get through the workout, but he kept showing up, and he kept just improving. And he kept saying, like, are you making these workouts easier for me just to make me feel better? It's like, no, man. Like, the workouts aren't getting easier. You're just getting better.
All right, Bobby, you just finished your first small group training session. How you feeling, man?
Well, day one, and I'm going to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the number. If you take a look at the screen up there, I'm pretty happy with the number that I pulled off today. But I'm going to go over to the treadmill. I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to try to get 200 points for the day before I leave the gym.
For so many of us, we have these big macro goals where he wanted to lose 100 pounds in a year. That's a huge macro goal. And it's really easy to get overwhelmed by that type of goal. But what Bobby did is in our system is he focused each week on what he could do to move closer and closer. And then on top of those workouts in the gym, he was always talking about ways that he could improve his nutrition outside of the gym. So we got him on the MyFitnessPal. And he was somebody where he wasn't really too aware of what he was putting into his body. And so he got the MyFitnessPal, and it told him, hey, here's your calorie mark to stay below. And so he did that religiously, and it got him really far.
The one thing I want everybody to hear and see and understand, for me this time, it's not a diet. This is not a diet.
Right.
In any way is this a diet. Okay?
Right.
I want to make sure that everybody understands that. This is a change.
Sustainable change.
Sustainable change.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, if there's a time that I want something that's not necessarily the best for me, or if I want something like ice cream, or I want something like a piece of cake or whatnot, I understand. I don't need a big piece.
Right.
I can get a little piece. I can still account for it. I can figure out where that is in my calorie count for the day. I can have it, and I move on.
We can enjoy our life. We can balance it out, right, by still keeping ourselves moving in that right
That's, you got it. That's what it's all about, right there.
That's awesome. So we're 47 pounds down. Was it 25 and a half inches?
25 and a half inches total that I've lost in 90 days.
That's crazy. It's a huge change, and we're just going to keep that ball rolling. If you want something you never had before, you have to do something you never done, right? So what we started teaching Bobby was the things that we've seen the most successful of our clients use. It's our methodology, the whole strategy behind what we do at Pathway Training. We have like this system that we put people through, and if you really apply these skills, you're going to see the result you want to, because it's about activating changes into your daily life. It's fitting what works for everybody else. Like all these systems, all these, like, you can read books all day, and there's all these cool tips and tricks and hacks that you can use, but if they don't fit your life, then they're not going to work. It's better to work on habit, like honing the things that you do in your daily life versus trying to hack. Little quick fixes are just that, they're quick, but they're not sustainable. They don't really last. What worked for Bobby was working on the habits, working on the things in his daily life to improve his life.
In the past, when I would hit my goals, it was great. And I told myself, I will never go there again. It won't happen. I won't do it again. But it never fails. You know, the weight goes up 5 pounds. Oh, it's just 5 pounds. Oh, the weight goes up 10 pounds. Oh, no. It's just 10 pounds. I'll worry about that in a little bit. Not that big a deal. The food's so good. You know, oh, the couch is really fun. Oh, I don't really want to go to the gym. I'm just not feeling up to it. Any little excuse that you can make, you do. And at this point, I'm tired of excuses. The beautiful thing about today is we have so many apps that are out there that help us. In my case, I use MyFitnessPal. And by using that, it keeps me accountable, along with making sure that I get proper exercise, sleep, and everything else that I do, trying to maintain what I'm doing. When it comes to systems that are out there, I've used lots of them. I've gone through the point of diet pills. I've gone through the point of shots. I've gone through the point of anything you can think of. Any type of fad diet that's out there, I've done that also. Here at Pathway, it's different. And when it comes to Rex and Jonathan, completely different also, because you go to these guys and you say, hey, what do I do? And they look at you and they say, what's sustainable? What's your weight doing? Is your weight going up? If your weight's still going down, you seem to be on a pretty good path. Why don't you maintain the path that you're on until you plateau? And then once you plateau, then let's take a look at what that next level step should be. And I've already been through this. That next level step hit me right at about, I believe it was about 70 or 75 pounds. And then I was introduced to y'all's next level nutrition program. And then it was just like it started from the very beginning all over again. And it's like the weight just started melting away. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a magic pill. It's not you just, here's this 12-week program, go sit on the couch and watch TV. It's not the case. I go to the gym 3 days a week, okay? I now have picked up additional exercise outside of the gym. I do. I watch what I eat. I don't call it a diet because it's not a diet. That's where I am. That's what I'm doing.
16.5.
Really?
Yeah.
16 and a half?
Yeah.
What did I start at? Like 18 or 18 and a half? Yeah.
47.
That's not a bad number.
6 inches off the chest.
Woo! 6 inches off the chest.
45.
45.
12.
What?
12 inches down.
12 inches off of the belly?
Yeah.
That's like 12 inches is in like 1 foot, as in like that much?
Yeah, there we go.
I just want to make sure. I mean, we can now go from inches to feet at this point. How much have you lost off your midsection?
A foot.
1 foot. That's like weighing gold by the ounce or weighing it by the pound. I mean, so total just over 83 pounds as of this morning.
83 pounds and 35 inches down.
35 inches.
35 inches.
35
total.
inches.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome, man. Great job.
So now we keep pushing, right?
That's it. Woke up this morning. I'm at my absolute lightest weight. I started at 353 pounds back on December 18th. And today, as of this morning, I've reached the 260s. So I'm 269 and a little bit of change, which is absolutely impressive. I don't know. It seems to me that this day, I knew it would show up, but I just didn't know when it would show up. When I reached my goal weight, which my goal weight was 250 pounds when I started at 353, so it was going to be 103 pounds. Well, now I've already kind of had the mindset of, where do I go? What do I do? At this point, now I realize this is more than achievable. And with that said, I think that I have the ability to go ahead and take myself down to even a lower number after I get to whatever goal it is. And I mean, I guess at this point, I could say 230 to 250. I'd be happy. I would then like to start changing the body shape. I would like to be lean. I guess if my true goal was anything, it would be to become just crazy with endurance.
Over 3 months, he lost, I think it was 46 pounds, lost tons of inches. And then over 6 months, during quarantine, during all this craziness in the world where everybody has an excuse to slip, to not see the results they want to see, this guy's lost over 80 pounds in 6 months. And it's crazy. It's crazy because there's no quick fix. There's no fad to this, right? Like, he didn't do a juice cleanse and drop down 20 pounds to gain it back the next week. He was just hustling. We looked at his stats on his MyZone, on his activity tracker. The guy burned 69,000 calories in the month of April. That's without a gym. That guy, he was in his yard picking up rocks to get activity in, to get moving. And that's what really brings about change, right? He was using strategies that bring about long-term success.
So for Bobby, I think getting in the Pathway system and learning what he needed to do to help himself was the difference. It was not looking outside for other things and what worked for other people, but it was learning our system and step by step focusing on what he could do to keep getting better. And so that he took that step from calories, and then he focused more on macros. And he's keeping going. He's lost over 80 pounds in 6 months. And he's still not satisfied. He's still like, what can I keep going? What can I do next? Because that's his habit now. His habit is, what can I focus on this week to get better, to get closer to my big goal? So he's not scared of getting to this goal and the weight just coming back, because he's learned habits that fit in his life, that work for him, and then are going to create that sustainable change that he wants so that he can be confident, so that he is healthy, and so that he has the energy to do everything that he's required to do throughout the day, like be a dad, help run a business.
We all deserve to be confident. We all deserve to have energy. We all deserve to be healthy. We need to be healthy, right? When we get caught up in life and we say, I'm too busy with work, I'm too busy with my family, I can't focus on myself, I can't focus on my health. Well, if we don't have our health, then the rest of that stuff's not guaranteed. The fact that he can show people like, hey, look, you can do it. You can be the guy who is crazy busy. You can be the dad. You can be the one who shows up in your community, but still take care of your health. Still learn the habits to make you the healthy leader. Like, we need more of those.
It's a really cool journey. I mean, it is a path that I want to stay on, and I'm going to stay on it.